Guys, good morning. Bitcoin with Dinny, and it's Dinny here. Well, perhaps you're not catching this in the morning, so I'll say good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to Thursday. Well, perhaps you're not. Don't go there, Dinny. Guys, what's the crack? We have seen yet another bank go down. When you look at the chart, it dropped 50% yesterday. It's not a meme coin, it's not an altcoin, it's an actual retail legacy trusted institution customer bank, and it just lost 50% in yesterday, which is absolutely crazy stuff. That's what I'm going to chat to you a little bit, and that are they showing us how we're going to roll out the digital euro with everything that's going on there, which if you're interested in the rollout of the digital euro and you have the concerns about the digital euro, which I have huge concerns about the digital euro, let me tell you, it gives politicians 100% control over people, which is never a good idea, because remember, the politicians are meant to serve the people, not the other way around, is the way it seems to have trended. And that gives absolute control, so it's something that does worry me, and I think about a little bit, and I try and put steps in place to try and make sure that I have optionality should that event occur. And to be honest, I expect it to occur. I think the digital euro is totally predictable, and it's 100% certain that we get there, so we have to basically be prepared for that eventuality. But I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about how it rolls out. So yesterday, First Republic Bank had massive withdrawals, billions left the bank. Now the thing is, guys, no bank can sustain a bank run. The only way a bank can sustain a bank run is if it becomes nationalised, and that basically means the government comes in and bails them out and just prints loads of money and gives it to them. Now First Republic Bank already got something like 30 billion, which is a colossal amount of money. 30 billion, okay, they've already got, and it shows you that despite the lending, despite pumping money into it, when people lose confidence in their institution, they get the hell out of there, and they get the hell out of there as fast as they can. Now in America, it's called a banking crisis over there. Don't know if it's been covered on Irish mainstream media news, because I don't waste my time watching that. Okay, so it's probably not being covered, but maybe it is with some angle. But they're calling it a banking crisis because it is a banking crisis. Okay, now the thing is, all banks are connected with a thing called contagion. They're all connected, okay? They all lend and borrow to each other, okay? American banks, Irish banks, UK banks, whatever, the whole world, the whole banking system, that whole financial system, it's all connected, it's all correlated. Oh no, it's not, Dinny. Okay, well, what happened in 2008? The whole world fell apart, didn't it? Where did it start? America, okay? So you got to pay attention to this stuff. So what is a bank run? We'll just do a basic little... Oh, that seat's too hot. Put that down. What is a bank run, just in case people aren't familiar with what a bank run is? So all banks work on a system called fractional reserve banking, and most of you guys probably know this. Anyone who's in the space of Bitcoin and crypto knows more about finance than most people who work in banks, and that may seem crazy, but it's 100% certain. Okay, ask a bank teller what fiat currency is, and they won't even know what you're talking about. All right, so banks work on a system called fractional reserve. It means that they can loan out money. They don't have to keep money on deposit. So, and this is, I had a client in yesterday, I was doing education, and he was telling me, and I'll always find out what the client knows, you know, to get people to work when I'm consulting with people, I want them to learn. I just want to speak at them, because you don't absorb. I want them to struggle through stuff with me. And I was getting him to explain, you know, we were going through money and the euro and stuff like that before I got to Bitcoin, so you can sort of reference the two. But he was convinced that the euro was backed by gold in a vault. And unfortunately, like, that's completely untrue and hasn't been true ever of the euro. Okay, the euro has no backing, okay? And what that allows banks to do is, when doesn't have to be backed by anything, we can do this fractional reserve, which means banks can lend out people's money. So when I put my money in the bank can't keep the money there, okay? They'd go insolvent if they'd done that. By law, they must loan out the money, okay? A Bitcoiner, Cat Long, has been trying to create a bank which is of full reserve, which just means when people put their money in, the bank don't lend out the money, they just keep the money safe. And instead of getting free banking, people pay for that service, because they're like, I don't want my money at risk. And in the years she's been trying to do that, they haven't let her do it, because it disrupts their other system of loan out the money. The problem with fractional reserve is that if everyone comes looking for their money, the bank don't have their money, okay? So if we all try to withdraw our money from any bank on the planet, if not everyone, but if a lot of people try to make a withdrawal, the bank don't have the money. You go to the bank yourself and ask them for 10 grand to buy a car, and the bank will probably say to you, oh, will you come back on Friday? We need a week to get it. And you're scratching your head going, this bank must have 100,000 customers, maybe 100 million in deposits, and they don't even have 10 grand in a vault. Like, if you don't scratch your head there and realise that the whole system is just crazy, then there's no hope for you, okay? But most of us just don't realise this, or don't get the opportunity to question it. We're too busy. So no banks can sustain a bank run. We're seeing bank runs happening in the US. Another bank's about to go down the toilet. We'll see. There's the FDIC, and I want to talk to you about this insurance as well. And then I'll get to how the digital euro rolls out. I'll have to be fast now because I'm on the way to the office. I'm doing a done for you plan for one of my clients, which is where I do everything for them. We supply the wallets, we supply the backups, the steel wallets. We take them from zero to leave them with an actual Bitcoin pension plan, basically a Bitcoin insurance plan, an investment plan. Call it what you will. I call it loads of different things. Okay. So, genie lads, I'm dying of the heat here. Turn that down as well. Do me a favour, hit the like button if you're part of the community. Let me know where you're zooming in from, and just beware of scammers on all the social medias. Never respond if I reach out to you out of the blue asking you how you are. You can be guaranteed that's a scam, guys, so just please be careful with your money. If you want to contact me through my website, bitcoinwithdinny.com, where you will find my phone number. Okay, if you can't find my phone number, then you don't deserve to talk to me. But don't take the easy way and just respond to some scammer message that you get on social medias. Please be careful. Okay, and lastly, let me plug Bitcoin Ireland 2023. It's on the 20th of May. If you want to learn about all this stuff, if you want to learn about pensions, traditional pensions and Bitcoin pensions, all going to be covered at the event. Get yourself along there, get onto Eventbrite and grab your ticket right now, because they're selling out fast, and it's going to be an awesome event. Anyway, back to today's video. A bit all over the place here this morning. Anyway, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. So, fractional reserve, yeah, causes problems. And then, so what banks traditionally have is what's called FDIC insurance. I'm not sure if it's called that in Ireland. It's possibly called something different. Okay? But the problem is, with the FDIC insurance, let's go. Handbrake. With the FDIC insurance, oh, some guards around there. With the FDIC insurance, there's not enough deposits. So now it's going to be difficult. What banks have gone bust in America already? We had Signature Bank, we had Silvergate Bank, we had some other, Silicon Valley Bank. It's like a fucking, if your bank begins with S, beware, guys. Okay, and now we have First Republic Bank. Okay, now the FDIC insurance has bailed out these banks, but guess what? The majority of the insurance is now used up. That's 3 banks. There's thousands of banks in America, so you can see that the insurance just doesn't cover everyone. Again, insurance companies is a business, and it's sort of like fractional reserve, in that the companies are sort of banking that, well, everyone's not going to have a car accident on the same day, are they? Okay? But that's the problem with banking. When things collapse, when you get a bank run, you can have contagion, and it can go from one to the next to the next. Once people lose confidence, okay, and they get worried about their money, they pull their money out of there. Now, this is why we've seen Bitcoin go up 100%, while all other financial assets have been crashing. Bitcoin has surged and doubled in value, okay? Which just shows that the market is going, I need to take some of my collateral out of the banking system and put it in a system where there can be no bailouts, there can be no bail-ins, and no human can screw it up. It just works on the rules of math, which is the rules that make the sun rise. Okay, it's just physics. It's how the universe works. Which is, you know, I trust physics more than I trust a banker. Let's just say that, okay? As anyone would. I'm not even hating on a banker, okay? Although they deserve a bit. Especially lads at the top, okay? If you understand what moral hazard is, they take all the risk and you take all the punishment. Because when things go wrong, they just get their bailout. And the taxpayer pays. You pay with inflation. You pay by your cost of living being so high right now. You know, bankers cost a lot of that. We're still living with the cause of 2008. Go and watch The Big Short. It's a great film, guys. If you want to, you know, basic understanding of what actually happened in 2008 and why it's still hurting you and why it's going to hurt your kids' futures as well. Because they screwed the money so much after that. and we're going to have to live with that. And that's why Bitcoin was invented. Because Bitcoin was invented on the back of everything that happened in 2008. And Bitcoin is people's money, and if people understood Bitcoin, they'd all own it. And all the institutions and all the media don't want you to understand it, because they want you to use their fiat money where you're under full control and your wealth is taxed silently. You get your physical tax that you can see and feel. You know, you pay all your tax on everything you buy and do. Then you have your silent tax, and that's called currency debasement. And that's why things only get more expensive. Things aren't getting more expensive, your money is just losing value. The value's been sucked out of it, okay? And that's how central banks manipulate currency to pay off their debts and keep their system running. But that basically makes life more difficult for you, okay? That's why as Bitcoiners, we have a better life. We get to enjoy a lot more freedom because we understand this concept, and we've used Bitcoin to give ourselves back our time. It doesn't happen overnight, but I promise you, if you take Bitcoin seriously, if you get the right education, and you take it seriously over a 4-year cycle, you can change your life, okay? Don't get distracted with altcoins unless you're going to dive into all that stuff. Most people just lose their money. The vast majority of people lose their money, just like most people lose their money who buy lotto tickets. But there's a hard and fast rule of Bitcoin, and it's anyone who's held Bitcoin for 4 years in a financially better position, okay? Only Bitcoin has that. And the last thing I'm going to say to you is, this is on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, Bitcoin with Dinny, spell it correctly. And if there's a Bitcoin with Dinny account that's not spelled correctly, it's not me. I shared a post that if you came into Bitcoin at the absolute top of the market, okay, you came in 2021 when Bitcoin was 69,000, you decided, I'm going to commit to Bitcoin. But you got a bit of education. Let's say you came to me and you done a bit of consulting and we built a plan, okay? And you started to aggressively dollar cost average from then, and we set a sequence and you actioned it until today. Well, today, even though you bought Bitcoin at the very top, and you bought all the way through the bear market, you bought at 69, 60, 50, 45, 40,000, 35. Okay, you done this. You bought all the way at the very bottom. You bought Bitcoin at 20, 15, 18. Okay, today you're 17% up in your wealth. Your wealth's increased 17%. Meanwhile, your pension is probably down. I think pensions are down about 30 to 40%. Bad pensions are possibly down 50%. All right. Now, the thing is, a pension won't recover in 6 months like Bitcoin will. Okay, Bitcoin done 100% in a month, in 2 months, to be fair. Okay, your pension won't. Your pension may take 5 years to get that back. All right, your stocks are down, your commodities are down, your currency is down. The only thing that is up is Bitcoin. Yet mainstream media and your friends and the idiots in the comments who won't do the work for themselves will be like, oh, you just lose money on Bitcoin. Do the work for yourself, guys. Understand it for yourself. Get good education. And just action your plan, and life will become easier. Now, I better finish with, how's this the digital euro rollout? Because, I pack a lot into these videos. Hope you appreciate them. Do me a favour and share the content as well, because like I say, you'll never hear this stuff in the mainstream, and that's why mainstream people don't get to spend as much time with their family or doing as much fun things. And because I was there and I lived that life for a decade, my mission now is to push out this information. That's why I do my live videos. That's why I push out so much free information, just to try and give you the other side of the coin that you're not hearing about this stuff. So, how Bitcoin, I'm going to nip in here and grab a quick coffee. How Bitcoin, or how this helps the digital euro roll out, okay? So in the US, what's happening is you're having consolidation. And what that means is money is moving from smaller banks, okay? And it's moving to the larger banks. Now that makes it much easier to roll out the digital dollar, because all the money is centralized into one location. So it's easy. You just get JP Morgan, who'd love to do this, to go, oh yeah, sorry, but digital dollar's coming. Nobody has a choice, because all the banking is centralized now. So as these smaller banks are all being made to go bust, and this is sort of, maybe it's a little bit conspiracy theory thinking. And to me, I don't really think like that. I just think it's a system fault. But, I can see all the validity in what the people who'd be a bit more conspiracy leaning are coming up with. And it's just that by centralizing the banking, by causing these retail banks to fail, by pulling interest rates so low and then jacking them up the fastest we've ever seen them, like, it's obvious things are going to break. Retail banks are going to break. We've seen now it's the fourth one is about to go under, and we had the second biggest banking crash and the third biggest banking failure in the US this year. This is happening. Okay, And what that's happening is people are pulling their money out of banks and they're putting it into the big banks because we know from 2008, what lesson did we learn? Some banks are too big to fail, okay? And the government will bail them out, all right? And if they're rich people banks, they'll get a bailout. Just like, that's why Silicon Valley Bank got a bailout and didn't go under. And, you know, because it's a rich people's bank, because they'll lobby and they've got the political weight, okay? So when you centralise all the banking, it's much easier to roll it out. So we get to see this now. I know we've had banks in Switzerland. A couple of them are under pressure and got bought out and everything, but watch for this stuff, pay attention for this stuff, guys. And if you see, like in Ireland, we're pretty screwed because our banking is totally centralised as it is. You've seen it squeezed out the other banks. We've squeezed out KBC and we've squeezed out, who was it, Ulster Bank, and we pretty much have AIB and Bank of Ireland. You know, so you can see now our banking here is very centralised, so just be aware of that fact. And understand that if we're on a digital euro, you may not have a choice to be able to get Bitcoin, to be able to get this lifeboat. And that's why you buy your insurance before your house on fire, not when the fire starts. They will not sell you the insurance then. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm going to run in here because I'm running late. Well, I will be running late if I delay too much. Grab a coffee and head up to the office for a day of consulting and building plans to retire early. Have a super day, Dinny out. Thanks for hitting the like button. If you haven't, come on! Catch it out! Hit it! Thanks, guys.